So today, guys, we're going to be talking about probably one of the most sought after G36s in the game. It's the new name G36 called the Caretaker. But is it actually even worth it? That is the bigger question with this weapon. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to show you what it comes with, how to get it, and then I'm going to show you why it might not be worth the time, the effort, and the grind. Let's get into it. So if you look at it, we have the Caretaker on us right now. On this build, it's sitting about 127,000 damage. If we go down here and then we actually put show damage numbers and then we close that, the base damage on it is 52,000.6, so about 53,000. It has 863 RPM, but remember that is because I am on a striker build. It has 50 rounds in the magazine. I max it out to 28 expertise, so that way I can test it and show you it with other weapons, just so you can see that. We have assault rifle damage, health damage, and then it does come God rolled with damage targets out of cover. And it comes with a talent called Perfect Killer. Now, what does Perfect Killer do? Well, killing an enemy with a critical hit grants 90% critical damage for 10 seconds. So if we go down to the stats, you're going to see the mods we have. We have 5% crit chance, 20 rounds, and then I have 5% crit chance and 5% crit chance. Or you could have 10% crit damage, 10% crit damage. What I'm going to tell you is to make this gun even usable, we're going to have to change this, but we'll get into that. So how do you guys get the Caretaker? It's pretty simple. All you need to do is open up your map, and then you see where it says shade up top. You click on this. You need to go down here to open all call status, and you're going to want to put it on all. After you do that, you can come back to this screen right here, and then you can just wait for people to call for backup. And if you get a call backup, it'll look like an exclamation mark, and then you can, like this symbol right here, it'll look like that on the map. Now, I'll tell you, there's a lot of people doing this, so answering the calls have been very difficult. What I did is I actually went to matchmake, and I just said random call for backup, and you can start matchmaking. And it will automatically search and put you into a random game. Now, there are a lot of people trying to get the Caretaker because it's a new weapon, and they think it's probably going to be really good, but hopefully in the future they do buff it. But right now, it's not as good as what it's hyped up to be. So random call for backup could be what you do there. And that's all you have to do. What you have to do is get to level 8. Once you get to level 7, there's a challenge for completing level 7. And when you do that, it will give you the Caretaker. So you should be level 8 by the time you receive it. So at minimum, when you see Shepherd rank level 8, you have received that Caretaker weapon, and that's it. So you need to level it up. So what that means is you're going to have to answer more than one call for backup. You stay with the player, you play for one mission, and then you leave. Remember, the player can only endorse you one time. You also get an automatic endorsement for helping them out. But yeah, the player can only endorse you once. So what you do is you go there, you play with them, you probably get one level, and then you move on. Now, what I will tell you though right now, for 3 more days and for the whole weekend, well, there is a Shepherd XP event, so you can rank up faster during the Shepherd event. That's what I did. You get 3 times multiplier. So this is also a great time to do it. But you get the weapon from hitting level 8. It's a level 7 challenge, I guess. Once you complete it, you'll hit level 8 and you will receive the Caretaker. So is the weapon worth it? What we're going to do here is I want to go to the range because I want to show you something that I'm not a big fan of. The problem with this weapon is the accuracy. And the stability, yeah, you can figure that out. But the accuracy on this weapon is almost, I don't know, it's almost unplayable. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put this on number 10. And right now, before we do, I'm going to let's grab the Police M4, right? And I want to show you something. And I actually did this on stream last night. So we're going to compare the two. So if you notice, the damage on the Caretaker is 52,000.6. And on the Police M4, it's almost 47,000. So it's about 5,000 difference, right? A little bit over 5,000 difference between the two. So 5,000 base damage different. Don't look at this number because this number also is I have 28 expertise on this, 0. But let's just look at the base damage. So about 5,000 difference. The RPM on the Police M4 is faster. The max size 50. They both have the optimal range is supposed to be better on the Caretaker. But what I want you to see though, look at this. Go to accuracy. So on the Caretaker, look at the accuracy. Look how much more it is on the Police M4. So it's already more accurate on the Police M4. Look at the stability. The stability on the Police M4 is way more stable. The reload time is 0.09 seconds shorter. So not only does this weapon shoot faster, right? The Police M4 shoots faster. The Police M4 also has better accuracy and better stability. So if we go here and you grab the Caretaker and you click on this and you go to accuracy mods, because that's what really matters with this weapon, and you go accuracy mods, let's click on this. Let's compare the two again. So the stability on the Police M4, way better. The accuracy, barely losing, the Police M4 barely losing to the Caretaker. But what we're gonna do here is most people aren't gonna want to sacrifice, most people aren't gonna wanna either sacrifice 5% crit chance or 10% crit damage there, right? So we're gonna put crit chance. And most people aren't gonna want to sacrifice 10% crit damage or 5% crit chance, right? Ideally, most people won't, right? So what we're gonna do now is I wanna use this weapon. We're gonna be using we have the G36, and I just wanna show you how the accuracy on this weapon is. It's pretty crazy to see. So we're gonna go to 15 meters, and then let's see this. You see the accuracy at 15 meters? Just look at it. To really get this weapon, and I'm using a striker, guys. I have 15% weapon handling on this weapon. And I just want to show you something. Let's go like this. So I have the Police M4. Look at the difference with the accuracy. Now don't look at the damage number because we don't have expertise in this weapon, but look. You can already see the difference of how more trying to control that little dot, and it just gets worse and worse. Now to make this weapon better, what you have to do here is say we're gonna fix it, right? Because what's the issue with it is the accuracy. So we'll put accuracy here and accuracy here. So that way it's on par with the Police M4. And now you can see that it's a little bit more accurate, right? It's on par. There you go. You see now it's feeling like it's more like the Police M4. It doesn't look like it's jumping all over the place. If I'm going to use accuracy mods on both, right, and I'm going to sacrifice either 20% crit damage or 10% crit chance, well, what is that going to do? Well, that means that now I'm going to be either 20% crit damage less on this weapon, because say for the Police M4, you want to put 20% crit damage. Well, now I have 20% crit damage at all times. And then if I hit a critical hit, I get 70%. On Perfect Killer, I lose out on that 20% crit damage. And well, look, now I gain it back when I get a critical hit, but then it kind of evens out. So that's something you have to keep in mind when you're looking at this. You're like, is it really worth it in the end? It shoots slower than something like the Police M4 or even like the F2000. Yes, it may hit harder, have a higher base damage, but the reload time's a lot slower, as we mentioned earlier. It's a lot slower. The accuracy and stability is worse unless you use accuracy. The stability is worse. The accuracy, if you run the crit mods, it's worse. So is it really worth it? And then like what I want to do real quick is I'm actually going to swap out to one of my favorite weapons that I like running, the F2000, and let's compare those two. So if we were to compare the Caretaker with the F2000, the base damage gets a little bit closer. So it's about 3,000, right? 2,000 something. So it's a little, almost 3,000. The RPM is less, right? We keep going down. It literally has the same accuracy, a little bit less than the F2000. And the reason why I left one extra mod is because you can only put 2 mods. So even if you're gonna try to compare this to the F2000, it still loses a little bit out on accuracy. The reload speed is a little bit faster than the F2000, but the rate of fire is 115 less RPM. That is my take on the Caretaker. I tried using it a few times. I did put 28 expertise. Am I a big fan of it? I think the slower rate of fire, less accuracy and stability than the Police M4. if I were to pick a weapon and I wanted to have that many, if I wanted to have 4 mod slots, I would probably just do the Police M4. If you have the Lexington, there's not even a competition, guys. The Lexington, there's no competition between the Lexington and the Caretaker. I would farm it if you want to, but do not stress if you can't get it right away. It's probably something you're not going to want to spend expertise levels in. I kind of regret putting expertise into this, and that is just my take on the Caretaker. If you guys have been using it and you guys have the Lexington, let me know, do you prefer the Lexington over it? Also, if you have the Caretaker and you have other weapons like the Police M4, the F2000, the FAMAS, what do you guys think of this weapon? I think it's just too slow, not accurate enough, and the reload time sucks. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Hey, nothing but skills out.